Welcome to the Football Show on PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel. We'd like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support in 2022. The amount of people who've hit the subscribe button and have been liking all of our content and sharing it across the network on our social media platform and of course on YouTube, as well as the website and the app. There are so many people who are so into the programme, and hopefully you'll stick with us in 2023 when we deliver more unique video content. And saying that, looking back over the past year, it's fair to say we believe 99% of our viewers not only love the beautiful game but have a sensible opinion on it. But there are a few who've lost the plot. We always like a bit of banter on here, try not to get people swearing on the show, and certainly in the feed here. There's a lot of people, 99% of the people who are on TAM are absolutely first class. They've got good opinions and want to talk about football in a sensible manner.
No, it's great. They can interact with us, they can, give their opinion. And as you said, the majority of them are good opinions and know their football, they're intelligent. But some of them, as you famously quoted, it's not the show for them and they're single cell amoebas.
Yes, I'm glad you remembered that bio. I never forget it from biology. But I'm going to offer a bit of balance here, Rafi, because there's lots of other people who love you. Charlie's Angel says, Rafi is the best despite the new haircut. And also, there's a great line here with Sean Maxwell has won it because he says, Alan Rough for Prime Minister. Well, of course, it's an easy comment to make.
That vacancy soon.
I was just about to say, it's an easy comment to make, Sean. Last man standing. You never know. Stranger things have happened. But what would you do first of all? Would you bring back free milk?
No, I'm actually still trying to recover from school. Remember at school, in primary school, you used to have a milk boy. Mm-hmm. They used to have a milk boy, but when the milk came to the school, the milk boy always got out to go and get the milk to hand in the classes, which meant you missed about an hour of education, which was my incentive.
You were the milk boy.
The problem was the whole class voted to see who was the milk boy would be.
Yeah.
And this wee twat in front of me got it all the time. I still have not forgotten this wee guy. Well, just when you mention milk.
Well, you haven't seen him in 12 years. We've found him. He's with Singer. What's he like? Oh, swearing and everything, Tom. That's it. He's unravelling. He's unravelling here before our eyes. One bit of criticism there, and suddenly. Well, Bobby Petta reminded us that he had a great record at Tynecastle as a Celtic player playing against Hearts. Bobby was amazed, though, to find out about Ruffy's record as a Hibs player playing Hearts at Tynecastle and even at Easter Road. Did you like playing at Tynecastle, Bobby?
I'm just thinking about it. No, not really.
No?
But I like the fact that it's close, right? To
yes.
The boys. And I quite like it. And it feels like it's crowds on top of you. And I even though I say not, but it's enjoyable because.
Did you have a good record there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about being arrogant. These two are on the programme.
No.
Ruffy had a good record.
Ruffy had a great record. 16 games, no wins. That's not good, is it?
What's the goalie doing?
You know you're only as good as the four in front.
I knew you weren't going to take any flack. The changes in professionalism in the game are stark. It's so different today from when Ruffy was playing, and even Tam McManus, when both of these guys were sitting here on the couch earlier in the year. They were talking about their approach to professionalism as soon as there was a break in the overall season and what's happening nowadays. Yeah, it's strange, Tam, how the difference in generations, isn't it? Because if there was a break for the World Cup, under normal circumstances, everybody just goes mental. Whereas now, players actually, even if they're on holiday, are training, to a level you would not believe, to make sure that they are not in any way sluggish on their return. That's the professionalism of it.
No, there's no hiding from it. I think when you get the GPS bands and the watches and the apps and all that, you've got to hit numbers. I know Celtic do that. During the break, you've got to log in and you've got to hit numbers every day. and there's no hiding from it unless you attach it to your cat or your dog. And
Yeah.
probably something I would probably have thought about. But no, I think there's no hiding place, and you've got to remain professional. But I do think that some managers will dangle a wee carrot tomorrow if you win the game.
It's strange actually, Ruffy, if there had been GPS, Bertie would have probably taken him into the office and said, Ruffy, I don't know what's happening, but you managed to do 100 metres in 7.4 seconds, so you're either in the taxi or
we had it well planned.
Yeah.
At Partick Thistle. Obviously no technology involved. A wee set of scales. No, you got weighed.
Yeah.
No, you're not back for 3 weeks.
Yep.
So you stand on the scales. The physio looks at the dial and sees whatever weight it is. But what you do is you have somebody behind you with a wee tiptoe on the scale to give you that wee extra 8 or 9 pounds. Get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
So you get that wee extra.
8 or 9 pounds. That's some holiday.
Fortunately, for 12 years I never had a holiday because I was always away at the World Cup.
Yeah.
We used to do that. We done that. The only time I've ever done that was with John Hughes, Yogi at Falkirk.
Yeah.
So you get weighed on a Friday and a Monday. So you get weighed on a Friday, and say you're 12 stone, so you had to come back in the Monday 12 stone. So if you weren't playing, it was difficult because you weren't doing it until the weekend. So at that point, I wasn't playing. So 12 stone, right? Okay, whatever it was, and you came back. You go on the scales on a Sunday at maybe 3 o'clock after a good night out.
Yeah.
12 stone 4. What am I going to do here? You get in the bath. I'd get in the bath and just put the heating on, roasting, get in a hot bath, come out it, maybe 12 stone 1. Next morning you got up, you were 12 stone. So I never done any breakfast. I'd get in my packed lunch, go on the scales, weigh in, and then I'd get into the toilet. So I'm getting to the toilet, boys, I'm just getting my breakfast. And there was a big goalie there, a big Dutch guy, I can't remember, Jerome, somebody, I can't remember his name, and he was a big boned. And if you were over pounds or 2 or 3 pounds over, you didn't train. You were on the bike until you lost the pounds. So the big goalie never played, the number 2 goalie. I don't think I've ever seen him training. Just again, they go on the bike for half an hour, come out. The training was done by then, but that was big Yogi.
It's a great line, that, Robbie, isn't it? I'm big boned. It's a great cop out, isn't it? Brilliant. Anyway, listen, great tale for them, both of you there. I'm sure that would bring a smile to more than a few people's faces. Throughout 2022, we've had our reporters covering all the managers and players pre and post match, giving us their insight into the beautiful game. Our reporter Adam Binnie is just one of them out there, making sure that he's asking the key questions, and he caught up with Dick Campbell to ask him about a certain yellow card he picked up as a Broth manager trackside against Partick Thistle at Firhill.
Wait, but what was the yellow card that you received for?
What was that?
The yellow card?
For me?
Aye.
For being something to the referee. I thought it was a red. Actually, I did. I didn't get what it was for. He said, I was moaning at the decision. For, what was it? For continuous, I don't know. I said to the linesman, did you not see that linesman? You've got a better view than him. Well, he's the referee, Dick. That's what he said to me. I says, you want to stick that up your that blah blah blah, and it's worth a yellow, isn't it? It's worth a yellow. The lack of a better intelligent reply. It was. I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
Tam McManus has been an ever-present on the programme. He's usually with us a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday, and I think the effects of Ruffy are rubbing off on him, to say the least, because Ruffy's attitude to anybody whose name he can't pronounce is just make it up to as close as he thinks it possibly could be, and Tam is embracing that ethos. Okay, let's move on then. That's Juranovic, Jens, Carter, Vickers and Taylor, which we expected. McGregor, O'Reilly, Hatate, Jota, Haksabanovic and Kyogo. Wow, there's one out of left field, 2 out of left field. Haksabanovic starts, and Kyogo, what do you make of that, Tam?
Big call. Obviously been impressing in training. Haksabanovic.
Yeah. What about Haksabanovic?
Haksabanovic. That's a good one for the commentator.
I'm just about to say, you're now in the Ruffy's zone. He just makes it up.
He came on against Ross County, and
I thought he looked good.
Aye, I thought he looked a right player. Not seen him since, but good pedigree in Europe. Played in Europe, played in that region. So I think it's a big call for Ange.
Yeah. Can you change your mind on your prediction?
No, 2 each.
Okay, because Robert Davies says, I've just seen the lineup, Celtic to win 2-1. It's amazing how people change their mind on things, but I think you're right, Rafi. And the other thing, I look at Kyogo, and I still think he's really, I still think he's got another 2 or 3 years to go through.
Yeah, well, obviously he was the first one to come in, you know, the Japanese players, and he just set the place alight, you know, but since he's come in, the other signings that have came in have been just as good. So that's put him in, not a complete back burner, but we're not talking about him as much because Jota's doing it, Labada's doing it, you know.
Who's Labada? Is that a dance? Abada?
Labada.
Honestly, he's just outrageous. That's a game, you know? No. Right, okay.
I was going to try Giamacchis there, but
no, don't bother. He's a sub.
No.
Now, when Tam Cohen is sitting here on this couch, Rafi and I know exactly when he's trying to get a gag in. We can see the joke coming a mile off. The only thing we don't know is how he's going to try and ram it into the conversation. You come on the show on the Tuesday. You're switching to the Tuesday.
We've switched to the Tuesday.
Yeah. You were originally a Tuesday. Did you know that?
I was nearly called Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's a true story. You didn't know that.
Is that right?
My name is Thomas, of course, officially, but nearly Tuesday. Because when I was born, both my mum and dad looked in the cot and says, I think we need to call it a day.
I can see it coming, could you? But it still doesn't beat Macca's line, which is the best one I've ever heard on the show. Well, we're talking about the whole thing about conception. We were saying, you know, the amount of people who name their kids after where they were conceived.
Yes.
And we're talking about Brooklyn and things like that. And Macca goes, yeah, you're right. He says, that's why my son's called Car Park. The best line ever from Macca. Anyway, apart from anything else,
Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Honestly, he's just thrown us right off kilter again. By the way, we always get the big names on the football show. Our reporter Kerry Pollock caught up with John McGinn when he was on Scotland international duty.
Saturday will be your 50th cap for Scotland. What does that mean to you? Not only to get your 50th cap, but to be the captain and amongst that time as well.
Aye, well, captain in Scotland's always a privilege. Obviously, I'm just the stand-in when Rob was injured or suspended. But for me, playing for Scotland once was enough. But to be approaching 50 caps is mental. It is a pinch me moment, and hopefully one that I'll remember for the rest of my life. So if the gaffer decides to select me, it will be a huge moment for me and my family.
Now, at the end of every game, we have reporters covering the managers' and players' response. Some of the press rooms are luxurious, but that's not quite the way we'd sum up the Partick Thistle press room. The Jags got the win that they were craving, and Ian McCall wasn't getting carried away with it.
It's very aware it's only one game though, you know. So, but in this league, you know, if you win 4 or 5 in a row, you'll end up second top or top. So, and we've done that before in the season. We won 4 and drew one, I think, or won 5, I can't remember. So, yeah, it was. I think it was a very good game of football. But I think it showed that we had 1 or 2 players back.
Yeah, once they get a couple of players back, nice to see Ian McCall there being interviewed in one of the homes under the Hammer houses. We've had a few. I know that press room's mental, isn't it? You're just waiting to walk into a kitchen in the back, then the bedroom is upstairs. But there he is. He's happy enough with it. Rafi and Leighton does that he was going to be heading up to Aberdeen to watch the game. We were wondering how the heck he was going to make it from the studios here up to Aberdeen. But I don't know what Rafi's driving, but it seems to be very quick. Yeah.
I would like to know why we're the only tie that's not live on the telly.
Yeah, you're miffed at that, haven't you?
Yeah, I think so. It's financial rewards.
Yeah.
No,
but listen,
you get up to the game after. You get up to the game.
I should be leaving here at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, and I'll get up there about 7:30.
You got up to Aberdeen for 7:30. What are you doing? Hurry a jump jet?
Oh, I'll make it.
Yeah.
I made Inverness 7:45, leaving here at 5 o'clock. Yeah, if you're decent, you're decent enough, you'll let me away a wee bit earlier, you know.
With an average speed. with an average. He's running away early. I'm just about to say, with an average speed camera at Perth,
That's exactly
there's
right.
no chance.
Well, make an effort.
Yeah,
You've
okay.
got to
And the
support your
traffic
team.
at
Oh, stop it.
Fucking Howie at that Cumbernauld junction.
Absolutely.
You never get through.
You watch it in Aberdeen TV room at my house. We're going to mind watch it.
Yeah. As well as the football show Monday to Friday at 4 o'clock, we also have our reporter Kerry Pollock sitting in this very seat with the preview show on a Saturday. Yes, even more programming for you, and we're going to be building on that throughout 2023. But Kerry is in here on a Saturday. She has a chat with Tam and Rafi, previewing the weekend's Scottish Premiership fixtures, and every now and then she catches them out with the odd surprise.
Okay, well, before we finish, guys, we've started to do a quiz every Friday that we do this. So it's the fastest answer wins. We've only got a few. I didn't tell you because I knew you would be unprepared.
Duffy's knackered, he's got jet lag. If I don't beat him,
That's the excuse this week, right? So, first question. How many goals were scored this week by Scottish teams in Europe?
10, 9.
3.
3. 10?
Oh, I thought against. I thought he was against.
Right, second question then. How many goals were scored in the Premiership last weekend?
14.
Closest answer to one if you don't get it.
17.
16. 2-0 to Tam. Okay, who has been named the Premiership Player of the Month for October?
I've been away in Madrid all week.
Bada.
Right, guess.
Giacomakis.
Cholak. He's the top goal scorer at the moment. So name the only team in the Premiership that has scored as many goals as they have conceded.
Livingston.
Come on.
Motherwell. Livingston are on the same amount of points though, 16.
Yeah,
There you go.
No, you don't.
Half a point. And it's been announced that Scotland will play England to celebrate the anniversary of their first ever international game. How many years will they be celebrating?
150.
It's quick.
I read that.
I did, I seen it yesterday. Well, you were probably
When is it?
half cut in Madrid.
It's not next year.
You get a shout for it and
There you
go.
go, aye. Right, last question. Which Scottish pundit has set to appear on the quiz show The Wheel next week?
Neil.
Chris Boyd.
Cam Cohen.
Ali McCoist. There you go. Well, you get another quiz next week. You know it's
Oh,
coming.
now I can prepare for it now, yeah.
You get trounced there.
Yeah,
That
well,
was
I've been
a bit-
away all week, so
That's
a lot
it,
of stuff
that's the
has
excuse.
been happening while I've been away.
Well, of all the guests that we've had on the show over the course of the season, one of the most enjoyable for me was David Martindale. It was great to get an insight into the Livingston manager, how he coaches the players, and his view on the beautiful game. I hope you enjoy listening to him, as well as Rafi throwing in his tuppence worth here and there.
I think it was interesting. I spoke to Sean Maloney, who obviously was a very, very talented player, technically excellent. And I said to him, how do you teach, when he was with Belgium, I said, how do you coach De Bruyne? He says, De Bruyne's dead easy to coach. He says, because if De Bruyne thinks you can teach him anything at all about winning that game or about the opposition, he's on board. The problem is, he says, if De Bruyne finds out you can, that's a problem. But De Bruyne doesn't care if you played for Celtic or you played for Whitehill Welfare. He wants to know, do you know enough about the opposition? Where can I hurt the opposition? What can I do? To buy in?
Well, you're a classic example of it. I mean, of the managers that you worked under, and even at international level World Cups, there must have been someone that you just, when he opened his mouth, you were like...
It has to be Jock Stein. It has to be Jock. Was so thorough. Team talks were before the games were an hour, maybe an hour, 15 minutes. Every player, opposition, individually through strengths and weaknesses. You came out the room knowing you've got a head start. Because we didn't know who the players were playing Sweden or Norway. We didn't know who they were, but he had spent so much time, and sharing it, and the individual touch as well. He would pull you aside and all that kind of stuff. That was good man management then. But he's at the top.
Yeah, Lee Johnson says he's got an app where he's got all these, little nuggets from managers.
That's called Google.
Is there anything that's made you change a wee bit?
No, I think my academic background, I've always been fairly intelligent, believe it or not. But I went to university and that changed the way I thought. So when I came into football, we put a lot of detail into our coaching programmes. So I've always been we do a SWOT analysis, I do a SWOT analysis on the opponents. It's a thorough scout reports, and then that leads into your Monday session, your Tuesday session. So we do put a lot of detail in, but I think my academic background helped me package that and put it into a package, remember, that players can understand.
Yeah.
That's the big one. Players have got to be able to understand it, and then you've got to transfer that onto coaching it on the park. How do you do that? It's all right saying we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You need to coach you guys.
Yeah.
You need to coach you guys, but they need to get that information. But I think players are now Ruffy, are more receptive to that as well. I tell them to study, I tell them to take notes, and video analysis, you probably never took notes in video analysis.
Yeah.
But when I went to study at university, I had to take notes because I remembered more. If I write something down, I've got a potential to remember it 60% more than I would if I just listened.
Yep.
So we encourage the players to take notes and video analysis. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. See, David, see when, like, say, if you're talking about, you know, learning, you're a man that's been in full-time education. See, outside football, was there anybody, a mentor or anybody you read about outside football who's actually impacted on you and the way you look at football?
Probably not. No, that I can know off the top of my head, think it. Just you're looking at, my life was all, I wasn't involved in football, played football, but it was constantly football. All my spare time was devoted to football, whether I was a football fan or playing football or coaching football at a lower level. So just looking at the more modern managers.
Can you imagine the asset way back then if we had video analysis in my time? You'd be studying Zico's free kicks. You'd be studying Kubi's hitting the ball outside his foot. You would know what would be coming up.
Again, you would the drinking culture probably back then, smoking, the hydration, the nutrition, like all these things have gave a modern day player added benefits or small marginal gains. I think if you were doing that back then,
and the rules changes as well.
What would you have done if you John Robertson? He's up the back of the bus.
I say, Robbo,
you're the boss.
Robbo, if you score 3 a day, you can smoke as much as you want.
Can I just say something? Yeah, I'm glad you said that, right? Because I was down in, as you know, Brian Clough's house, and we were sitting for it was just the best time of my life. The camera with him, and he said, you know, he would just turn around and he'd say to me, if we're under pressure, he says, I just turn around to the players at half time and say, listen,
Monday off.
Give the ball to the tramp. Give the ball to the tramp. He will go past 2 or 3 players and he'll win us the game. And John Robertson won us the game.
Aye, but you look at it now, like, I think we can complicate, as coaches, we can complicate football. It's changed, but it's no changed. It's still all trying to do the same thing.
There's only one technicality that Rafi never mentioned to you there. You talked about going on Google. If there was all of that technology available to Rafi, they wouldn't have wasted time buying too big a ladder to get out of the room so they could all go on the bevy in the World Cup and wouldn't get caught.
And I was talking to her, it wouldn't be the first time we'd be going to an international game, we'd be in the bus and Robert would be up the back and Kenny Dalglish would go, this bus is on fire. Somebody set the bus on fire. Mum would be up the back, give me phone, be smoking.
And just to finish our part 1 of the best of from our shows in 2022, our reporter Adam Binnie has been covering Rangers and Celtic in the Champions League. It's something that we've added to our portfolio this season and will continue into 2023 covering Champions League and Europa League football. Adam headed off to Italy to cover Napoli against Rangers and also to find out why the city of Naples is so in love with a certain Diego Maradona.
We all know how much the people of Naples adore Diego Maradona. He's treated like a god here. He's more than just a footballer, but they love him not much more than Massimo Vignati and his family. The family are so close tied to the former Argentinian forward. We had the mother of the family work at the stadium, as did the dad, and the brother and sister helped to babysit Maradona's kids. Behind me, we have the famous warm-up jersey from the juggling video. We've got the actual contract between Barcelona and Napoli, as well as much, much more memorabilia. But don't listen to me. Hear it from the man himself. Here's Massimo Vignati. We spoke to him all about his collection and what this museum means to him and the city of Napoli.
Well, that's the first of our best of shows. Obviously, everybody's getting ready for the Christmas festivities, so we thought we'd have a wee break, get ready to open all our presents on Christmas Day, and also let you look back on some of our special guests and some of the fun we've had on the show. There'll be more tomorrow if you can join us at 4 o'clock. And let's not forget, 10 years Rafi and I have been together on the football show. So over the course of next week, we're going to throw in the best of a decade with so many special guests, so many laughs along the way. Hopefully you can join us weekdays 4 o'clock, where you can tune in to some of the great memories we've had from 10 years together. Let's look forward to the next 10 as well. But from today, hope you enjoyed the best of from season 2022, and we'll be back tomorrow at 4. From myself, Peter Martin, thanks for watching.